And we're back with AP as we see it, and we're going to shift gears. We've been talking a lot of basketball these last few segments, but we're here in Mobile, Alabama this week for the Senior Bowl, one of the best all-star games in the country. All the top prospects for the NFL show up in Mobile on the coast here in LA, Lower Alabama. But we want to just make note of a few things. They have two teams. It's the American team and the national team. And on the American team, there's approximately 70 players. Out of the 70 players, there's 38 from the Southeastern Conference. That's 38. That's what I said, 38 out of that 70. And the national team has 69 listed. There's two from the Southeastern Conference. So that's 40 SEC players represented here in Mobile for the Senior Bowl All-Star Classic. So I don't think the SEC is going away anytime soon. They had a little bit of a down season. They didn't make the playoffs, but once again, they had the number of teams in the final top 25. So like I've always said, in this new era of football, we have the transfer portal and players moving from year to year. All these $1 million coaches, they're going to have to earn their money because they just can't roll out the football like they did before. And you don't have that superior depth. Yes, you have depth. If a school like Alabama, Georgia, Texas, number of the top teams in the conference, if they don't have depth, no one has depth. But what I'm saying is it's not superior like it has been in the past, where there's just an All-American in waiting. That person hasn't gotten their opportunity. So, but these coaches now, like I say, they're going to have to be sharp with their plans and their executions and their schemes and the way they evaluate talent. And you have the money. As we always said, Texas always has the money, but where are the championships? Where are the championships? Why are they mostly in Alabama, who never claim to have the resources? Texas always claims to have the resources, but they don't have the championship. So now you're going to be, you're having your general managers on each staff, and you're going to be evaluating talent. You're going to figure out we have a certain amount of money and who should receive XYZ amount, and how we're going to distribute that. So anyway, that's the Senior Bowl, and it's nice to be here at the Senior Bowl. You see the players up close and personal. We're going to be interviewing them this week. You can watch it on our YouTube channel at AP Stedham, and actually it'll be at AP as we see it, and we'll try to put some on the other channel as well. At AP Stedham, my personal channel. But we want to thank everybody for listening on our syndicated radio stations throughout the course of the week, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And also it's available on Spotify. Every episode is archived on Spotify since we started the show. And then you can watch on my YouTube channel at AP as we see it as well. But the Senior Bowl, it's a great event. If you have a chance to ever attend, come down to Mobile, LA, Lower Alabama, and you could see some of the top players that will be drafted. And also I'll be at the draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin. We'll be covering that as well. But you get a chance to see these players and watch them and your favorite team. Like I said, 40 players from the Southeastern Conference are represented at the Senior Bowl, and that's out of 139 players listed on their roster. So that's a significant amount. Like I said, we had a chance to visit with Kalen DeBoer, so you can check that video out as well. We were discussing his quarterback situation, Ty Simpson, Austin Mack, Keelan Russell. They're all scholarship players, but they're not very much experience. So, yeah, check that video out as well. One thing we want to bring up besides the Senior Bowl is the rosters of the Super Bowl participants. Kansas City and Philadelphia as well. Now, taking a look at Kansas City's roster, and I'll be there next week at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Kansas City's roster, on the 53-man rosters, there's 13 SEC players, plus there's 3 on the other rosters. So that's a total of 16. 16 SEC players associated with Kansas City at this time. And then you have Philadelphia. Philadelphia has 20 SEC players. 20 out of the 53 are from the SEC on the roster, plus 10. So that's 30 SEC players associated with the Philadelphia Eagles from the National Football League. 16 associated with Kansas City, the Kansas City Chiefs from the American Football Conference. So that's a total of 46 SEC players that will be in New Orleans and competing and representing their team, their two teams in the Super Bowl. So, like I said, the SEC, plenty of talent. Now you have to coach it, develop it, get good coaching staffs, call the right plays, win those close victories, win ball games, and get yourself back into the 12-team college football playoff. And it probably be expanding as well. One thing that we didn't bring up, and I always like to discuss, is the National Football Foundation. They made the announcement of the class of 2025, the College Football Hall of Fame. And so we'd like to mention that that event is held in Las Vegas. It was held for many, many years, up until a few, at the Waldorf Astoria in New York, but they moved it to Las Vegas, and it's a tremendous event. If you ever have an opportunity, it's a black tie affair. And Steve Hatchell, the executive director, and Matthew Stein, the chief operating officer, they're fantastic. They've invited me for many years, and I always love to visit with them, and also the College Football Hall of Fame inductees, the players, the coaches, and the award winners. But this year, representing the Southeastern Conference is Greg Carr from Auburn University, linebacker from 81 to 84. You have John Henderson, University of Tennessee, defensive tackle, 99 to 01. You have Michael Huff, that's Texas defensive back from 02 to 05. So he did not play in the SEC, but he's an SEC school. The two new participants in the SEC, Texas and Oklahoma. You have Terrence Metcalf, the offensive guard, played for Ole Miss, 97, and then he 1 year he didn't play, 99 to 01. So you have Terrence Metcalf, the guard, and then you have the coaches. Larry Blakeney played at Auburn, but he was coach at Troy from 91 to 2014. And you have Urban Meyer, the head coach at University of Florida from 05 to 2010. And then you have Nick Saban, the head coach at LSU from 2000 to 04. And he was a coach at Alabama, of course, and won national championships at LSU, and as well as or national championship there, as well as Alabama. He was at Alabama from 2007 to 2023, and Urban Meyer won championships at Florida. And so if you have a chance to make it out to Las Vegas this year, I highly recommend purchasing a ticket, getting those reservations, and coming out to Las Vegas for the National Football Foundation College Football Hall of Fame, the annual banquet that has the inductees. It's a black tie affair, and you really enjoy yourself. You'll see all the people from around the country, former inductees, and most of the head coaches attend that event from around the country. They take that time, and you run across your coach probably. You can talk to them, and it's a friendly atmosphere, and it's just a great night of college, a celebration of college football. And I've always loved attending. And remember, these inductees, it's a small, tiny percentage who have earned that right to be called a College Football Hall of Fame player, or a coach, or contributor, or an award winner. There's various awards as well that are their recipients that night. But I just always have fun. We get a chance to interview those players. You find out about what they're doing now and what keeps them busy, and their careers for them that happened after football. But they're the legends of the game, and if you love college football, it's the perfect place to be, to see all those people from around the country, not only your own team, but the opponents and all the rivalry teams that you've watched through the years, and get a chance to speak with them as well. But it's a great event, and it was always fun going to New York, but they made that change to Las Vegas, and of course we know you could have fun in Las Vegas as well. But we want to, we had a lot of fun this episode talking about basketball, and that's going to be on our minds because of the SEC with those 10 teams in the top 25, and they're going to have a presence in the NCAA tournament this year. And college football is making changes. They're trying to change the portal window to just January, 10 days, January 2nd to the 12th. The coaches, that's what they presented to the NCAA, and let's see if that's going to happen. It's going to be approved. But the college football, we always discuss it on our show every week, 52 weeks a year. But this college basketball, you can't deny it that it's something special now in the Southeastern Conference. It's always been very good on the women's side as well, as we know. But the men's basketball, it's had the last few years. It's trending and it's rising, and good coaching, excellent players, and that's a combination for winning and success. So we want to thank everybody for listening and watching. Remember, you can check out our social media platforms, YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and X accounts, and on Spotify and on the individual radio stations. You can listen to our show, which we usually list each week. So thank you for listening to AP As We See It, and we'll be back next week for another episode.